Tribe Called Curls present The Supernaturals. Spring is in the air 2014.
And natural hair. And let's just go around. We're going to start with you, Natasha.
Hey ladies, I'm Natasha from Main Moves TV, and I've been natural since 2000. I've had a journey. So when I went natural in 2000, I didn't know anybody else that was natural in America. It's not in my family, none of my friends, none of my coworkers, nobody on the train. So
an honor to be asked to speak anytime and anywhere, particularly with sisters. And if y'all could just take a moment and look at the person next to you and just see how beautiful they are, just for a second. Right? Hello. Because from this vantage point, like, I'm a little distracted by how beautiful everybody is. But so I'm 50 years old, right? So let's. So I say that there's a lot of reasons why I say it, but I say that to say I grew up in D.C., Chocolate City. You know, I watched Soul Train, and there's something very, very significant about Soul Train is that every Saturday morning I watched Soul Train and House of Style with Elsa Clinch. Like, that was my life. But Soul Train was underwritten by Johnson. It was basically a commercial for showing people how to use Afro Sheen, right? It was a brilliant business model. If you go back and you see those old Soul Trains, they would stop and have infomercials and show you how to use the products. And they would have commercials with, like, I'll never forget, there's a commercial where Frederick Douglass, first there's a kid in his dorm room. So it was a black college kid, right? This is in the 70s. He's at an HBCU. He's about to walk out, and his afro is lopsided. This is a commercial. And Frederick Douglass comes back from out of time and says, "You can't represent with your hair looking like that." So Frederick Douglass shows him how to pick out his afro and use Afro Sheen. Right. So that's my foundation. And also, I was a fashion editor for a long time, and to me, the Soul Train line was a runway, right? So every Saturday, I would watch the coolest, flyest black kids in America dance down a runway, and with all this natural hair, because you could press your hair out, right? But nobody was relaxing in the 70s, so I had this really rich reference. And there were all kinds of shapes and silhouettes, and it was natural hair, right? Or pressed out and laid, right? So it was a surface change, not a chemical change. But what happened in the 80s, we got all these products, we could do all these things. When I stopped putting, because I never made my hair bone straight, because I'm too light-skinned right? I'm so light-skinned that my brother used to say I was opalescent. So I'm this light, with blonde hair and like a radical inside. So if I made my hair really straight, I look like a white girl. This was my only protection so I wouldn't hear some dumb shit, right? So my hair texture localizes me, right? It connects me to somewhere that at least you might pause. But I did want to texturizer. I used to do that because it was your like that. So, but what happened was I got pregnant, and I went to my obstetrician and said, were there any regulations, were there any neurological damage that could come from relaxers, even if you run it through, because that's what we said, we just run it through, right? That could cause any kind of damage to my child. So the next week, appointment, I came back, and he had a stack of papers this high on his desk around bleaching and permanence. And permanence was, I'm sure, well, I already told y'all my age, but when white women would take their hair from straight and put them in these coils, it was called a permanent wave. He said there was all this research on things that white women did to their hair, and none. There's still no FDA regulations around relaxers, which is crazy town. Like, there was no research. So I'm like, well, I'm just not going going to risk it. So that's when I stopped running things through my hair, is when I was pregnant. And what's the sister in DC that has Cornrows and Company?
Pam Farrell.
Pam. So Pam Farrell later did some research, and there was some neurological damage as a result of relaxers, but to practitioners, not so much people that relax their hair, particularly practitioners in unregulated space. You know, people relaxing their hair in the kitchen and breathing it in. So a sister did some independent study. So it was that. Like, I wasn't going to risk my child, but then when she was born, and I saw her, and I hadn't seen like unmolested hair in a long time, and it was like, we called it freedom hair. Like, oh, she got freedom hair, and then subsequently, I have, you know, people go, oh, I love your hair. Your hair's so great, and I said it's happy. So I have I'm like all on some hashtag happy hair, because it's at this point, aside, beyond all the advocacy, beyond all being fly, because it's y'all turn to do all that work. I did a lot of work. Right now, for me, where it's at, and what, you know, to connect to how I've seen the community grow, I feel like women are really on this journey to be happy. Right? And so if part of being happy is accepting and knowing and touching your hair, and I'm not team natural, like, let's be clear. If you feel happy with a weave down to the floor with bells and shit in it, if that reflects who you say you are, great. I do believe in healthy hair, and I do believe that if you know your texture and then choose to change it, that's fierce. But I feel like a lot of women, we don't even have a relationship with, like, we just sit in a chair and say, do it. Like, we've been told since the very beginning, right, like something is wrong. We associate our hair with pain because somebody's trying to pull it and snatch it into something and put some Dixie Peach on. Again, my age. You know, so we associate our texture with it being wrong, and everybody's been trained how to change it. So what's happening now is I think the community has gone past the industry. Like, the industry's trying to catch on with y'all. And that's why the social media and internet piece has become so powerful, because y'all are just telling each other what you're doing. And now all the L'Oreal, they're just trying to figure out, like, how to catch up with you so we can sell y'all something. So it's remarkable, because I feel there's a lightness. Because when we first started doing this work a long time ago, and people went up to Albany, y'all, to get laws for everybody, like, some real work went down, and it wasn't a party, it wasn't all this cute, but there were some people that believed that y'all were coming, and this is one of those people right here.
Wow. Climate for people with natural hair, like, have we reached a tipping point where, you know, the number of black women and women of color who are going to adopt their natural texture is kind of there, you know what I mean? And we're not going to see the same sort of exponential growth that we've seen in the past 5 or 6 years, where you could walk down the street in Brooklyn and just, you could go for blocks and blocks and not see anybody with a straight look. You know, I know that it's different in other parts of the country, but I'm curious. The question is, where do you think we are? Like, what's the current climate for natural hair? And have we reached a point where, you know, this is what it is, in your opinion?
Yes, we'll start with the current climate. Oh, I'm sorry. No, I think there's going to be a lot more women who are going natural. I don't think that we have reached the threshold yet. I think that a lot of, I meet women all the time who are transitioning. There's someone here transitioning, Louisa, one of the interns, she's transitioning. There she is, hey Louisa. So, yeah, and I think that there's so much information out there. And that's the reason why I came into the business, is because the community, is because I felt like there was a voice missing. And I think that that's probably where we need to go next. We need to involve the voice of the professional into the community. I love the women on YouTube. They are phenomenal. I think that it takes a lot of passion, a lot of heart, a lot of dedication to stand in front of a camera, shoot your own video, edit your own video. It's a lot of work. So kudos to them. I do think that we do need the professional voice in there also. So I think that that's going to be the next wave. I think that we need to bring more of a professional voice into the community, yeah.
Brooklyn is a special place. We all know that, and you could walk up and down in the 80s and see people with natural hair. But you go to LA, there is so much hair in LA. So I think it depends on different areas, but also, working as someone in the media. I remember there was when Lupita won the Oscar, there was a lot of conversation about her complexion, and I was like, and her hair, because the impact that she made. Well, she's just flawless. Like we could just say she's flawless. But there was a lot of there's a lot of conversation about her complexion, but it was also her hair was breakthrough. The fact that she had a short cropped natural that she kept switching up too. Like she put lines in it and a headband we hadn't seen that on the red carpet when Viola Davis, and how fly she looked so beautiful. And then she put that old lady wig back on. But I'm not mad at wigs. Let me just go on the record. I'm not mad at it. But you went, it took years off of her. It took a burden off of her. She didn't look like nobody's maid. She just was gorgeous. Serving face, and then she put that wig back on. It was bad. It was laid all weird, but it receded her, and then Lupita looked like a superhero. But so I think that but that's kind of it in terms of like these big, glossy, glamorous examples. So I think that that's a real place for radical change where we can have more. Because even, I'm a commentator on CNN, and no one has ever asked me to change my hair. And you realize if you watch, there's Melissa with braids. Yeah, but right, Tori. Yeah, he gives you some volume. But these are, so when you look at like people who are considered glamorous, people who are considered thought leaders, people who are considered leaders in whatever area, there's still the range is not there, right? So there's some shortcuts like Tamron Hall is flawless, and Joanne Reed. So there's more color coming, but the hair piece is much more emotional around, I think, with certain women. So in terms of the media images, I think we still really need to interrogate them. And to your point, I think that so many people, if you go to a beautician school, when it comes to black hair, I think they still teach you how to change it first, then you cut it, then you cut. So I think, what I was saying before, I think the industry is trying to catch up, and there will be more professionals who will learn how to deal with natural hair, because there were so few. You have people like Dickie and people like Diane, who've been doing it for a while. But I also think the tools are getting better too. The products, those flat irons. So if you need to go undercover, with the straight bob, because you need to go get some money, because that's real. Some of the products are getting much better, and I think they're going to get better and better. And the technology is going to get better, so we can have more range with our texture without having to change it chemically.
Well, wait, while you have the microphone, let me ask you a question, because I know that you have this considerable media background. Mm-hmm. What can we do as consumers and members of the audience to encourage these people who are giving us our representation of women of color to add more variety, more texture? Like, would you recommend writing letters to like an Essence, let's say, or even an MSNBC where we see so many commentators and anchors of color, but you don't necessarily see a lot of texture?
Well, it's interesting because I think the revolution that has happened online has put pressure on people that they didn't even know was coming. So, and people are looking at what's going on Instagram and online that you all are that we are taking over, like the people are taking, like I actually, Taryn was on MSNBC talking about natural hair. Actually, I put her on, but see, this is also, I told the producers about her, right? So there's also that piece. It's like when part of it is bringing people on and along as you come along. I do think, and when someone is there that you like, because I think there's two things that have to go on concurrently. We have to celebrate when we win or we like, or like go hard on Melissa, like we love her or whatever, or Lupita, you know, when people do represent, because then they go, oh, that's all right. But also, you know, there was a sister that was fired, and there's a lot of drama, and that's when we can organize and really get behind folks, because you can't tell somebody, you know what, Joanne, could you please just go natural because you're so cute, that would help us all out. But you know, but if they see love, I think people individually respond to love more than pressure. Corporations respond to pressure, and when you go after their money. But individuals respond to love. Was that?
Absolutely. I totally get what you're saying. So clearly we need to definitely be watching the people that are representing for us. So if you guys don't watch Melissa Harris Perry's show, which is amazing and much watch TV anyway, if you want to know what's going on in the world, definitely tune in. So we have had a really good talk just around these couple of questions, and I definitely don't want to keep people. I just want everyone to share where we can continue these conversations online. So let people know where they can find you, because this is a conversation that needs to continue. Absolutely.
Okay, so I have, my website is moves TV.com, and same thing, Maine Moves TV on Facebook and Maine Moves on Twitter and Instagram. And yeah, I was gonna say something about the show, but we don't have anything. Okay, yeah. All right, so yeah, so as you know, as we said before, this is actually a promo for the show that's coming. I work for Brooklyn Independent Media, which is right up the block, which is under BRIC. So if you want more information, you can go to BRIC, B-R-I-C, artsmedia.org. But since I have all your emails, I'll let you guys know when the show is coming. Okay?
I'm just on every social media platform, and I'm a beast on Twitter, so I'll talk back. And Instagram, and also, I have a conversation project called Mad Free, and we have a Facebook page. So that would be dope. We're in the process of doing a 30 for 30, which is 30 minutes of exercise for 30 days. So it's a whole community of sisters supporting each other, and because healthy hair is beautiful hair, and healthy bodies make healthy hair, right? Right. So as an activist, I take that action part really seriously. So we had fun. Like today, you were there. We played double dutch with girls in Brownsville and hula hoop, and so we mixed it up. We did a burlesque class, a Brown Girls Burlesque. We're having a run next Saturday. We're having a $10 yoga class. So look on Facebook. It's Mad Free with Michaela Angela Davis, and get in.
What day are you guys up to?
So 17. We started on May 1st, and it's just 30 minutes. And it's a game changer. We know with black women, our health, y'all. I mean, Brooklyn, everybody's cute and they, drink green juice and we have for a long time. We didn't just, discover juice. But what's important is because we push it out on social media, the optics of it. But other people see in other places, oh, she did that. Oh, she walked. Again, it's supporting each other to be happy, and you can't be happy if you're sick. And also, when you get in this decade, I'm trying to look cute. I'm trying to be fresh to death to the day of death. And it gets harder over 40. I'm just saying. I'm letting y'all know right now. Your knees and you start making noise. So that's it.
Thank you for that powerful heads up. As I get into 40 myself. Yes, looking forward to that. So I am the founder and editor-in-chief of Tribe Called Curl, but it's really supposed to represent. I really appreciate that. That means a lot to me because you're one of my heroes. So to hear you say that is like,
Oh, one more thing. If y'all watch CNN and I'm on, tweet it out. Like, again, like...
Tweet when you see Michaela on CNN, because that's big.
No, it helps because it helps when we support the people that we want to see. Sometimes we'll sit, we'll feel it, we're like, oh, there's Taryn on MSNBC.
Absolutely.
But use your social media to go, I love seeing Taryn on MSNBC, or whomever, or Diane, where's that, like that, or here's another strategy. When you see people talking about hair or whatever, and you know that there's another viable voice, put that in your tweet. Like, it would be great if Diane Bailey was in this conversation, if it's on and they don't have an expert. Or when there's something about, that's a strategy too. It's like, put out to the world who these people are. Because those producers, they look at your Twitter feed to figure out who to get on the show. Like, the first time I was ever on Anderson Cooper was because of Facebook.
Wow.
So
that's powerful.
It is powerful, and so you can elevate the voices that you want to see.
That we definitely need. That's a great way. One of the things that we wanted to talk about is how do we use this community that we've created as a platform for change. So that is a great point. Feel free to hashtag Tribe Called Curl in any such conversations because I love to talk. So what I was saying about Tribe Called Curl is that I founded it so that it could be a reflection of our voices and so that it doesn't just represent me. It's about the power in numbers of women who've embraced their hair and who aren't afraid to think differently. So I would love it if you guys checked out the website. It's tribecalledcurl.com. You can find us on Instagram at Tribe Called Curl and Twitter and Pinterest and Facebook. So we're always Tribe Called Curl.
I want everybody to know I just got my Facebook page this week. Okay, so like me a lot. You know, it was a struggle. I had my personal page, but I didn't quite understand the science of my fan page. But now I'm kind of got a little light on it. So go in and look for Diane C. Bailey Afro Diva with an H at the end. And
actually, we have a little Shea Moisture surprise for Diane that she didn't know about. So Shea Moisture wants to support the growth of Diane C. Bailey's Afro Diva Facebook page. So if you don't have a chance to win something today, if you like her page on Facebook, you will have an opportunity to win an amazing Shea Moisture basket. That's right. And that's right. So it doesn't have to. You've got to, but you got to be part of the community. So you got to like it. And if you like Supernatural's BK, and I'm gonna throw Tribe Called Curl in there because I got the microphone. So if you like Tribe Called Curl too, you will have 3 opportunities to win gift baskets. So
that's cool. That's a nice surprise. Thank you, Imani.
Well, you can find me on my website at www.naturalchocolate.net. On Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and Tumblr, it's at Natural Chocolate.